Can you just take us through the process of getting into the Hall of Fame? What do you know about it?
Sure. Uh, so the whole process was basically, I didn't really know too much about it originally, and I knew that obviously that my line mate Will McMahon got inducted a few years back, and my expectations were relatively low as far as being inducted, but it was an honor. I got contacted by a couple different gentlemen from the league saying that I had been inducted and that I'd participate in the festivities coming up in Naples in a few weeks. So that was pretty much it. I basically just got contacted by the league, and I did get notified that Gordy Scheffler did a lot of work to submit a package for me, and I know that he discussed with Sean Hogan getting my stats, getting a recommendation, and things like that.
Awesome, awesome. And then can you just talk about how did playing at Oakland help you out in your career as a whole?
Well, for the most part, coming into Oakland, I was, I really didn't know what to expect. I did know a few guys locally that skated there, and I'm from the Rochester area, so I do love the program, but my expectations were relatively low coming in. I knew that they had done well in a previous league, or in the Division II level, and that they'd been to won the Nationals before I got there. But just from playing NCAA Division III, playing 3 years of junior hockey. I think my expectations were low, but leaving, my expectations were very high. I learned a lot. It helped me in my career learn kind of how to be a better player. For me, it was really all about scoring goals and helping the team win. And we were able to do that 2 out of 3 years that I was there. So it helped me also, professionally. It helped, it grew me up a bit. I focused a lot more on school. That I was, at home and, able to concentrate more on my studies and as well as, being able to, excel on the ice too.
And which one was your favorite in terms of a national championship? D2, D1, and why?
By far, Division One. Just the road that we took, getting to the final, and going through the whole process of being. I think we were the 16th seeded team coming into the tournament, so we had to play Lindenwood, that was, I think, in the top 3. So we basically had to take down all the Giants that year. We played U of M Dearborn, who we had seen a lot. So I don't think that we were too worried. We didn't undervalue them, but we had seen them before and already had beaten them, so we weren't that worried. But we also played Team Illinois in the semis, and I played junior against a handful of the guys in that team, and I knew that would be a very tough task. There were heck of a lot of good junior players, and we squeaked that one out. And then playing Penn State, who was a perennial powerhouse, and had won multiple championships, and were able to beat them in the final. But yeah, so the Division One was by far the most memorable.
Just a couple more. I know this is probably going to be a harder one for you, but what was your most memorable goal at Oakland that you scored?
Well, the most it wasn't actually a goal that I scored, but it was a goal that I assisted on. The go-ahead goal against Illinois in the semis. The defenseman, Colin Trulock, he had played in Texas with me. I knew him really well. He was trying to get me off my game. He grabbed onto me a few times, and we had taken two roughing penalties throughout that game. And if you know me, I'm not, my bark's a lot louder than my bite. So, so I was spending some time in the penalty box. But at the end of the game, I remember Tim Michaels came across the line and passed it to me. And Trulock stepped up, and I toe-dragged him and was able to dish it to Will McMahon for a breakaway goal with just like a little over a minute left. And that led to us taking that game.
And then what made you and Will so good out there together? What was it exactly that clicked every time you guys played?
It really was just me knowing exactly where he was at all times. I couldn't have, I learned to perfect this or at least try to perfect this in my career before that, but it was when the puck would get raining around the boards to me in the defensive zone on the right side, I could almost blindly throw it far side or to the middle of the ice, and I'd find him, and even if I didn't, I would throw it cross ice off the boards, and countless times he would, be sprung for a breakaway or whatnot. But we just, we gelled really well from the start. I think initially I wasn't paired with him, and I think Hogan was trying to, distribute our talent around, but we found ourselves on a line together pretty quickly, and we were just a match from the start, and worked really well throughout the 2 years we played together.
Two more questions for you really quick. 106 games, 105 goals, 105 assists, 210 points, just under 2 points per game. Looking at those stats here, Billy Ballant came the closest so far of passing you in points, but do you think that anyone in the near future is going to come to any of these records, pass any of these records that you and Will have, and even before you, the guy in second place, Ron Colito?
Well, it's tough to say. You get kids that come in that are, there's obviously a lot of local talent from, the Honeybags and Little Caesars and whatnot in Metro Detroit. So a lot of that, talent will progressively, end up getting stronger with the amount of teams and the popularity that hockey gets. But yeah, there's definitely a good chance that someone will do what I did, and either come home from D1 or D3 college, NCAA, or have a good junior career. Oakland's already had kids that played in USHL, North American League, and whatnot. But on the flip side, the other reason why records won't get broken is the league's gotten a lot stronger itself. I spent a year, and Will spent the majority of his career in Division II, so the competition was a little lighter. There'd be 10, 11 goal games where we'd fill the stat sheet pretty good. So I would say no. To answer your question, no, right. I don't believe it'd be broken.
And then the final thing here is, guys on the team now that are seeing this and kind of getting a history lesson on the tradition of the program and how successful it was, and kind of had a little bit of a down year here, missing the national tournament. And what would you say to those guys? Because I know, one of the guys that you're familiar with is an assistant coach in Colin Ronayne. But what would you say to the guys coming back this season in terms of seeing what you guys did and how to duplicate that success?
Part of it is I think that Gordy has a good roadmap of what guys are doing. I know they're working out and practicing, a heck of a lot more and harder than we were. So I think that they're on the right track. A lot of it is just getting a mix of players there that gel together and bringing talent home and things like that. That has a lot to do with it. But I think they're on a good path. When you're winning 3 championships out of 10 years, or close to, that goes down as dynasty. That name can get thrown around. It does for the Patriots or the Bulls or something like that. But I think that we had that there, and I think it's only in due time that it'll happen again. I think they're on the right path.
And then, really quick, you touched on it right off at the top, but just to kind of wrap everything up, being inducted in the Hall of Fame, just everything that it means to you, and anything you just want to add about that.
It's a tremendous honor. I think that, looking back at my career, I didn't expect to go to Oakland, and I didn't expect to play in the ACHA. And like I said, my expectations were fairly low coming in, but I was from where I started in 2005, 2006 to now, and 10 years later almost. The growth of the league and the talent level. I'm honored to be involved with that name association, and it is definitely a goal. It was a goal of mine to win national championships, and I guess I did that, and then this is kind of a nice capstone.
All right, Brent. Well, congratulations to you making the Hall of Fame, and we'll see you down in Florida.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.